Hi, and welcome to Paper Route Scrapbooking. I'm Nadine, and today I'm going to be working with the scraps left over from the Close to My Heart scrapbooking workshop called Wonderland. Okay, so I want to keep working with the scraps from this collection. I don't want to put them away. I want to use them up. So here we go. I still feel like I have quite a bit left, and I'm going to take a little bit of a different approach today. So still in keeping with wanting to use up my cardstock scraps here, I went ahead and found a title. Well, what I did first actually was found some winter photos from way back in 2002 of my husband and I and our two boys at the time, and we were having a snowball fight. So went back and found those photos and then mounted them on some cardstock, some of the leftover cardstock in the collection. So that was the first way I used up some cardstock. And then I found a coordinating title that went with my photos and cut that out on my Cricut and using, again, the cardstock left over from this collection. Now, I didn't have leftover white cardstock, but that's okay because I have a huge bin of scraps. And so I went in there and I picked out a scrap of white cardstock and used that, and I found a scrap of gray cardstock and used that as well, just so that I could have the coordinating colors. And so I matched the gray to the gray in here, and then obviously white is white is white. And so that's what I have. And then I brought in, because I don't have any 12 by 12 sheets left, I brought in a 12 by 12 cardstock. I don't know if you can tell on camera, but this is embossed cardstock. I think it's called Swiss Dot embossed cardstock by Basil, and I think the color for this one is called Salt. So this is what I have so far, is some photos. And what I'm going to do from here is I'm going to set aside the scraps, and I am going to just put my photos and my title to the right just to keep them close by. And then I'm just going to pull some scraps in the full size that they are. I'm gonna try to not like cut stuff down to make something. I think I'm just gonna like lay things out. Let's see. Maybe this, maybe this. There's this. I punched this for the previous layout I made, but I felt like it was too short, but maybe I can tuck it in somewhere. Maybe I would like this wider one. It doesn't go all the way, but that's okay. This, or maybe this, maybe both. Don't know. Something like this. Let's see, what else do I have? I have a lot of cardstock here. Hang on. Just pull that out of there. Stack it all up together. Let me see. Is there anything else that I might want to put on here? Something like that to tie my photos together. Okay, so there was a theme obviously already, and I started with that, and then here we are. So I'm going to pause the camera and ink the edges of my papers, and then we can go ahead and finish this up. Okay, so I definitely think this is the fastest way to use your scraps, is just to not cut anything, just pull out your stuff and slap it down in a way that looks nice. So that's exactly what I did. I inked the edges, I glued stuff down. I moved this border strip that I had already punched down here because I felt like this needed a little bit of grounding, and it kind of got lost in here. I also added a couple of stickers from the sticker sheet. So there's a little star here and this one that says Simply the Best. And then I also put on some of these snowflake die cuts that were left over from the scrapbooking kit. And then I took the sheets that had like Cricut cuts out of them that I didn't want to, that I hadn't thrown away yet. Not that I didn't want to, but just that I hadn't thrown away yet. And I pulled out some my snowflake punches. So let's see, what do I have here? I have a really old one from Carla Craft. This is ancient. I don't know where it's from, like where I bought it or anything. This one is, I want to say, oh yeah, EK Success. This one's Fiskars, and this one is a Recollections one. So this would be the newest one. These were probably bought around a similar time, and then this one I think I bought, well, I didn't even buy this. I got this given to me, so it's old. So those are my smaller snowflake punches. I do have a big one somewhere kicking around, and I punched out some snowflakes. So these are the ones I'm going to use on this layout, and then I have some more just over here that I will probably put forward into the next, you know, layout or whatever, and then when I'm done with this kit, whatever's left there is just garbage. But before I tossed these papers out, I thought I'll make the most of them and see if I can come up with something with all these snowflakes. So there's that. What else did I do? I decided which snowflakes I was going to use and where to place them. I printed my journaling, and so I'm going to get that on there. And I don't really know what the date is on this. They're old photos, like printed from film, and they did have, like, you know, that little red date that came in the corner. Let me see if I can find it in my trash bin. But it was like, what do you want to, okay, so see here the little, how they printed the date right on your photo. But this one, for some reason, it gave me the time and I guess the day of the month. And I don't know what month this was. I have no idea. This was like 2002. So anyways, I think I'm just going to put winter 2002 because I think that's as close as I'm going to get to an actual date, which is good enough, right? I mean, really, what more do you need to know? The year is important. We only had 2 kids at that time. The little one hadn't been born yet. So that kind of tells us where we were at. Let's see, what else? I think that's all I did. So I got everything glued down. You can see right here, I don't know if you can see it on camera, but this is lifted a little bit because of when I pulled this out of there. But once I get my journaling on, I think this is where my journaling is going to go. So I think that'll cover that up. So yeah, let me get started on that. So I'm going to put these on. And so this kind of got left for a little while because my husband came home and we hadn't seen each other in a couple days. So we got to talking, and anyway, long story short, it's a day later and here we are. And today's Monday, so I went to work today and I was talking to one of my students today, and these kids, I'm telling you, they crack me up on the daily. And I just thought, you know, I should write some of this stuff down and share them with my YouTube friends because their little sayings and stories are so worth retelling. So in the morning, our teacher brings up the weather from like the Weather Channel or something onto the projector. It's not a smart board anymore. We got rid of those. They were obsolete, apparently. It's like just a projector from her computer screen. And so she brings it up and she, you know, puts it on the board, and the kids have to look and find out what, you know, how much wind we have, what's the temperature today, you know, is it sunny, snowy, whatever. So the Weather Channel today said that it was going to be sunny. Well, I don't know. I don't know what they're thinking because, you know, it's seldom sunny here in the wintertime. The sun is out right now. Maybe that's what they were talking about. But anyways, so this kid about an hour later says to me, you know, it's supposed to be sunny today and like it's not sunny. I just see clouds and there's no sun. And I'm like, yeah, like, you know, maybe we just have to be patient. Maybe the sun is going to come out later or whatever. And he's like, oh, for heaven, you know, he just didn't want to wait. And I was like, you know, we can't control the weather, right? It's just a small problem and that sort of thing. So then about an hour later, the sun starts to peek through the clouds. And so I called to him and I said, hey, buddy, guess what? The sun is coming out. And he's like, oh. And he's like, maybe it will be a sunny day after all. And I was like, yeah, maybe. So then he always packs up his stuff a little bit early. So he packed up all of his things and was kind of, it came to sit by me while he waited for the recess bell to ring for lunchtime. And he looks outside and he's like, look, it's still not sunny. Like it's cloudy and snowy and windy. And it wasn't actually snowing. The snow was blowing off of the building. So it looked like it was snowing outside the window. And I said, you know, well, we can't control the weather. And I wrote this in my phone because I really wanted to get it right. He said to me, you know, okay, and I work at a Catholic school, so this is even funnier. But he said, you know, the gods of Mount Olympus control the weather. And I said, oh, do they? And he said, yes, do you know what her name is? And I said, no, what is it? And he said, it's Tasha. And between you and me, she's not very nice. Like, what? The goddess Tasha is in charge of the weather? Is that a thing? I don't know. Maybe I should look it up. Maybe I don't know the gods of Mount Olympus. I have no idea. But it's just like, where does he even come up with this stuff? Like he's, you know, I work with in a classroom of kids that have complex learning needs, right? So he's, his thought process just cracks me up. So he apparently is very convinced that the god Tasha from Mount Olympus took away our sun today and made it cloudy. So if you guys are upset about the weather, you can blame Tasha. I know I will. But it's actually sunny now. So, you know, maybe he's less upset now that he's home. And so this same kid later in the day, we were chatting again, and he was talking about he actually doesn't like to have conversations with people. He prefers to you know, talk I don't want to say talk to himself because I don't think he is. I think he's just like repeating things he's heard. So I like to kind of push a little bit for him to like interact. So I was asking him questions. I was like, so how was your weekend? Because the day I'm recording this is a Monday. And he's like, it was okay. And I said, oh yeah. I said, did you go to Dad's or were you at Mom's? And he's like, I was at Mom's. And I was like, I stayed at Mom's. And I said, oh, that's good. And I said, were you helpful? Like, or no, I said, what did you guys do on the weekend? He's like, nothing. And I said, oh yeah. I said, did you do anything to help Mom out? Like, were you a helper? And he's like, yeah, but you know what? He's like, I think I'm done with doing all of my mommy's work. And I said, all of your mommy's work? Whatever do you mean? And he's like, you know, like emptying the dishwasher and like picking up things. Like, I think that I should just, you know, be on my tablet. I was like, oh, do you? He's like, yeah. Yeah, because I'm a kid and that's mommy's work. And I was like, oh, no, that's not true. And I said, I agree with your mom. I think you need to learn to do those things because someday you're going to be a grown-up man and nobody's going to do that for you. So you have to learn it when you're a kid. And he's like, I can't even talk to you. And he walked away from me. I just get such a kick out of these kids. They're so cute and so funny. And they are really what gets me up in the morning. I just love them all. Anyways, so that's my little tidbit for today. So I'm just adding these glitter gems from the previous kit that I worked with onto these snowflakes just to make them sparkle a little. Could always use a little more sparkle in our lives. And I think that is it for this layout. So thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, please click that like button to give me a thumbs up. And if you are interested in purchasing this workshop kit, please click the show more button down below. And if you'd like to see more of my videos, it would make my day to have you as a subscriber. So just click the subscribe button and be sure to hit the notification bell if you would like to be notified when a new video goes up. Stay tuned if you'd like to see a detailed shot of this layout. Have a great day, everyone. Bye for now.